first signing of the summer transfer window. And the bomba, another exclusive bomba out of nowhere. We love it. This summer we have more to say, so ready to jump in together. Let me start with that one because, guys, again, out of nowhere, completely unexpected, a big story. When we talk about midfielders, guys, we have to mention once again Matheus Fernandes, because the contacts are going to continue in the next hours and days for Matheus Fernandes. Manchester United are there. Manchester United want to get the player. Manchester United are in direct contact with the player's camp, and the player is very keen on a move to Manchester United. So the discussions on player side are going well with the player and with his camp. Now depends, also in this case, similar to Tonali, on club to club, in this case with West Ham. West Ham start at £85 million valuation for Mateus Fernandes. Ideally, they wanted 100, but the expectation is that they could close the deal around £85 million, not less than this. Manchester United initial discussion with those taking care of the deal is under £85 million. So Man United want to spend less than this. So there is a conversation, there is a negotiation. Don't forget that Man United already signed one midfielder. And that midfielder is going to be Ederson. From Atalanta, it's done, it's completed. So Man United are not in a rush. They want to sign a midfielder, one more for sure, at least one more. But at the moment, still nothing urgent. So Man United want to do the deal for Matheus Fernandes? Yes. Man United are in conversations with the player? Yes. The conversation is going well, for sure, but Man United want to be smart. Don't want to pay crazy transfer fees. At the same time, West Ham want their money, and West Ham make their own valuation of the player. So now there is this game to play. There are more clubs interested in Matheus Fernandes, so Man United will have to be careful to avoid other clubs entering the deal for the Portuguese midfielder. So there are conversations ongoing. I'm sure there will be movement around this very talented Portuguese midfielder already in the next hours. Manchester City are accelerating on the deal to sign Elliot Anderson. After the first official bid rejected by Nottingham Forest owner Evangelos Marinakis, a bid worth £106 million plus 15 in add-ons, so a total package of £121 million. Now, after that no arrived from Nottingham Forest, Man City remain in negotiations, remain in conversations. The understanding is that Manchester United will not enter the deal. So Manchester United are not planning for an hijack for Elliot Anderson, as I always told you, and also the player is keen on a move to Manchester City. Even without Pep Guardiola, even with the managerial change, Man City manager will be Enzo Maresca. It's already done since a long time ago, and now we wait for an official statement. But Elliot Anderson still wants to go to Manchester City. So the expectation is for this deal to accelerate in the next days. Let's wait, let's follow the next steps, but for sure Manchester City want to go strong on this one, also because Sandro Tonali, who was the other name I mentioned to you for Manchester City midfield, the other player approached by Manchester City, in this moment is leaning towards Tottenham Hotspur move.
Talk about Manchester United, shall we, boys? Especially as it relates to the summer transfer window. First things first, it seems like they're heavily interested in Crysencio Summerville for £50 million. Robbo?
Yes. He had a very good time at Leeds for a season when they got promoted. He went to West Ham. He obviously got relegated this season with West Ham, but he had some good moments. He was one of their best players. He's a player that's got lots of pace. We saw him at the World Cup score a goal for the Dutch. He plays mainly on the right-hand side. He's got pace. He can go past people. He can score a goal. Is he worth £50 million? Will he make Manchester United a top team? I'm not so sure.
Shaka, he's putting down one of your hammers.
Yeah, no, listen, I think Summerville started a little bit slowly for West Ham and then got better as the season went on. And I think that's where the valuation comes from. At 24 years old, can't really call him a youngster that much anymore, but he's certainly trending well for Manchester United. And if they do get him, and he continues to progress as he has, I think he can prove to be a very good signing indeed. I quite like this one.
Rob, if you're going to compare him to Amad Diallo, who has scored quite a brilliant goal for Côte d'Ivoire in the World Cup right now, who are you taking?
I like Diallo. I think he's a good player. I think he's obviously been at Manchester. He went on loan, but been at Manchester United, and when he plays, I think he's changed the team on occasions. Is Summerville better than him? I wouldn't say so at the moment. No.
So you're sticking with Amad?
I'm going to stick with Amad.
All right, well, let's move on now to probably the biggest transfer story at Manchester United right now, and that is what happens with Marcus Rashford. Now, apparently he's made it known that if he doesn't get the transfer to Barcelona, he wants to see out his current United contract, which has 2 more years left. Now, his contract includes a hefty £40 million release clause. Now, the €30 million buy option expired yesterday. So what happens here, Shaka?
Right now, I got the feeling that Marcus Rashford is at least going to start the season back in Manchester United. Rashford commands quite a hefty salary. You're not sure how many clubs are going to take that option. I thought Barcelona would. Given his role for Barcelona last season, not a starter, but coming off the bench and giving option. And then once Barcelona kind of passed on that and were more willing to spend 80 million on Anthony Gordon, you just got the feeling that something wasn't quite right, that he wasn't as good a fit as maybe you would think, given some of his performances. And that is a little bit alarming for anybody looking in from the outside who are considering spending that kind of money, at least in wages, on Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, Robert, Marcus Rashford became quite a revelation at Barcelona. Do you think Michael Carrick can somehow integrate him back into United?
Well, you're a big fan of Manchester United. That tattoo will tell everybody that. Will the fans like him back? Would the fans accept him coming back?
I would accept him back.
Yeah, because there was a lot of times in the last couple of years when he was at Manchester United when he didn't play particularly well and he didn't look as though he was enjoying his football, didn't look as though he was trying on certain occasions.
But you can argue that the environment also contributed.
Yeah, so
to
the
that.
environment wasn't quite right for him, but that's no excuse not to be running around and trying. And he was sulking quite a lot of the time. I think it would be very, very difficult for him to go back to Manchester United. But from Marcus Rashford's point of view, he's got to play football. He's had a couple of years where he didn't play football. He's only been a substitute for Barcelona on many occasions. He might have to take a wage. Don't worry about the wages. I'm sure he's got lots of money. Go and make sure you play for 2 or 3 years and be the best player you possibly can be, wherever there is. I don't think it will be at Manchester United.
But Robert, you know this game as well as anybody. Marcus Rashford scores 3 or 4 goals in his first 3 or 4 games, and then all of a sudden that sentiment for Manchester United, that sentiment around Marcus Rashford returning to Old Trafford dissipates. Fans warm to that, and in his defence. Michael Carrick has gotten a lot out of players who we felt similarly about.
Yeah.
Kobe Mainoo first comes to mind. Michael Carrick has been able to just put players in the right positions and get the best out of them. If he can do that with Marcus Rashford, despite everything that's gone before, that will prove to be water under the bridge.
Do you feel he's changed?
I think he changed his attitude at Barcelona. He looked as though he's more enthusiastic. But there still was something that Hansi Flick didn't like enough to put him in the team on a regular basis. And I understand that because his decision-makings at times, some of the things he did, you think, what was he doing that for? He can be an outstanding player on his day, but his day doesn't come often enough for me.
On these guys and much more, I will keep you posted in the next hours, in the next days. Remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. I will see you here on YouTube every single day and let me know your opinion, your comments here. As always, ciao.